WP Travel Engine Elementor Widgets helps you to use Elementor to create a travel booking website. It seamlessly works with WP Travel Engine to display trips, tours, destinations, activities, trip types, and advanced search. If you are a travel entrepreneur, travel web developer, or travel theme developer, you will find this plugin very helpful. It brings together the two popular plugins to create feature-rich travel websites without writing any code. Hello and welcome back to WP Travel Engine YouTube channel. In this video, we will explore through the WP Travel Engine Elementor widget, and I will also show you how to use the plugin step by step. So on the screen is the Elementor widget demo page. Let's quickly explore through the demo page here. But first, I will show you how to access the demo page. To access the demo page, you'll first have to come to our site wptravelengine.com. Now from the navigation menu, go to Demo and you'll have to click on Elementor Widgets Demo. I have already opened the demo page here in the new tab. Now if you go to Demo, then you will find various demos like Trip Search, Trip Types, Activities, Destinations, Trip Slider and Trips Widget. You can explore through the demos here. For example, if you click on the Trips widget, then you will see various layouts that you can achieve with the help of WP Travel Engine Elementor Widgets plugin. Now, I will show you how to achieve these step by step. Let's get started. First, you'll have to log into your WordPress admin dashboard. Now, you'll have to install and activate the WP Travel Engine Elementor Widgets plugin. I have added the link in the description box below. You can go to the link, download the plugin, install and activate it, or you can follow the process I'm about to show you. So go to Plugins and click on Add New. From the search bar, simply type WTE Elementor. And here is the plugin. You have to click on Install now. Then you have to click on Activate. The WP Travel Engine Elementor Widgets plugin has now been activated. Please note that to make use of the WP Travel Engine Elementor Widgets plugin, you'll have to install and activate the WP Travel Engine plugin as well as the Elementor plugin. So as soon as the Elementor widget plugin is activated, you'll find the link to install and activate the Elementor plugin. So if you have not already installed and activated the Elementor plugin, just click here. Then click on Install Now. As you can see from the screen, I have already installed and activated the WP Travel Engine plugin. Now we'll just give this page a refresh. And you will see the Elementor widget has now been installed. Click on Activate. Now let's go to our demo page. Now from the demos, we will explore through each of the widgets and I will show you how you can achieve various layouts that are displayed in each of the demo pages for each widgets. Let's start with Trips widget. So back to our dashboard. First, we will create a page. So let's go to Pages and click on Add New. Let's add the title as Trips. And let's publish the page by clicking on the Publish button. And we will open the page in the new tab. So right now we have not added anything to our newly created page, but I have opened it here in the new tab so that you will be able to see the differences in the end. So let's go back to our dashboard. Now you have to click on Edit with Elementor button. Now from your sidebar, if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, you will see all of the widgets available under WP Travel Engine. In order to display trips, you'll have to drag and drop the Trips widget from here, or you can simply type trips from the search bar, and the trips widget will also be displayed here. From here you can drag and drop it. So what I'll do first is I will just grab this heading widget and drop it here. And I will add a heading. First, I will explore the grid layout. So the heading title will be grid layout. Let me go to style and I will quickly change the color to black. Okay, now click here once again. Scroll down. And we will drag and drop the trips widget. As soon as you drag and drop the trips widget, it displays the trips in the grid layout. Now, from your left-hand side, under Content, you will find Layout, Query, and additional options. From under Layout, you can select Card View, as Grid, as List, or you can also select Slider Layout, which displays the trips in a slider. For now, let's select Grid Layout. Now when you select Grid Layout, you have more options to select from. You can go with Layout number 1, you can go with Layout number 2, you can go with Layout number 3, Layout number 4, or Layout number 5. You have 5 different layout options to select from, and you can select any layout of your choice. For this video tutorial, I will select layout number 1, which is this layout right here. Now, you can also select trips per row. By default, 3 trips are selected per row. Let's say you want to select only 2. Just decrease the number. And only 2 trips will be displayed per row. I will go with 3, so I will increase the number. Now you can also select the trips gap. 50 is default, so you can increase the gap or you can just decrease it. I will set it back to 50. Now you have more options under query. You can show trips based on latest. You can select the featured trips. So when you select featured, only the trips that you have selected as featured from the dashboard will be displayed here. From the dashboard, those trips that are selected as featured will also have featured ribbon displayed for each of them on each of the trips. You can select the number of trips from here. You can select latest trips, which is also the default setting. This will display all of the latest or lately added trips on the page. You can select trips that are on sale. So when you do this, only the trips that are on sale will be displayed, or you can select choose from the list. So when you select this option, you'll have the option to select trips and display here. All you have to do is click here, and this will display the drop-down option of all of the trips you have created. All you have to do is click on the trip, and the trip you select from here will be displayed here. You can select more trips, following the same process. For this video tutorial, I will select latest trips. Again, you can select the number of trips from here. You can increase or you can decrease the number from here. Now under additional, you have a bunch of options that you can explore from. All of these options are highly customizable, and you can give your own personal look and feel to all of your trips on your page with the help of these options. First, you can enable or disable the trips description. So all you have to do is disable the toggle, which will disable the description. You can do the same with the featured image. Simply disable it, and the featured image along with the description will not be displayed. Let's enable both of them back on. Now you can also select the maximum number of words in description. Right now, only 20 words are displayed. If you wish to increase the number, just increase it like this, and the number will increase. Now when you select 30 words will be displayed as the description. You can also enable or disable the featured ribbon. This is the featured ribbon right here. You can disable or you can enable it. Next, you can enable or disable the title. You can enable or disable the price. So the entire price does not display here if you disable the price. Let me enable the price and the title back on. If you want to only show the price, which is this price, and disable the striked price, then you can disable the show striked price on sale, which will only display the price. You can enable or disable the duration. You can also select to display the duration type as days only, both days and nights, or only nights. I'm going to select days only. You can enable or disable the location. If your visitors have added reviews for each of the trips, then you can enable them here by enabling the reviews. But please note that your visitors can only submit their reviews with the help of our Trip Reviews extension add-on. You can get the Trip Reviews extension add-on with the help of the link I have added in the description box below. Next, you can enable or disable the discount. Then you have other options here like enabling or disabling the group size. I have not added group size for any of the trips, which is why it is not displaying here, but if you have added the group size option, then they will be displayed here. Next, you can enable the trip activities, the trip type, the trip available times, and the View Details button. So you can enable or disable these options as per your choice. For now, I'm only going to display the View Details button, and I will disable the rest of the options by disabling the toggle. The options that you select from here applies to all of the trips that displays here on the right hand side. You can also change the button label from here. Just remove the label that is already here. Then you can add in the label of your choice. Now let's go over to Style. Under Style, you have General options, options for image, title, content, meta, price, feature tag, discount tag, and button. Let's start with the General options. Under General options, you have the normal options and you have the hover options. The normal options are for the normal trips, and the hover options are for when your visitors hover over each of the trips. You will be able to figure out the difference in a while. Let's start with the normal options. So the first option is to change the background color. Simply click here and you can select the color of your choice. You can select the color from the palette here. So if I select blue, and from here, from the sliders, I will be able to select the shade. And you will see the background color has now been applied to the trips. You can also add in the hex value if you wish to. If you wish to remove the colors that you have just added, simply click on the clear button. This will clear up the color that was added. Next, you can also add a box shadow. You can click here. First, you have to select the color. So let's go with this light gray color. Then after you select the color, you have more options here. You can explore through these options, and from the position, you can select either outline. Do you see the faint outline here? Right on the screen. Or you can select inset. If you wish to remove the box shadow, then you can click on Back to Default button. Next, you can also select the border type. You can go with none, you can go with solid, you can go with double, dotted, and so on. And if you choose to go with border type, you have more options here at the bottom. I'll just go with none this time. You can also add in the border radius if you have added border. From typography, you have to click here and you will find a number of options here. From here, you can select the font family. Just click here and you will be able to select the font family of your choice. You can also increase or decrease the font size. Then you have more options. You can also set the line height, letter spacing, and word spacing for the description. And if you click here, the reset button, it will set the changes back to default. You can set the alignment from left, center, or right. Let's go with left. Then you can also add padding and margin. So these were the settings for normal options. Now for the hover option, the options are the same. The only difference is that the hover options are meant for when you hover over the trips. So for example, if you set the background color, the process of setting the background color is the same. I will select the same light blue background color. And now, as you hover over the trips, the background color changes. The rest of the options are the same as normal. Now, if you apply, let's say, a dotted border type, it does not display right here on the normal display, but as you hover over, then for each of the trips, you will see a dotted border. Let's go with none, and I will also reset the background color for hover. Now under image, again you have the normal option and the hover option. The normal option is for the normal display of the image. The hover option is when you hover your cursor over the trip's images. So let's explore the normal option. First, you can select the image size from the list of available options. And you can select from object fit, you can go with original, you can select contain, cover, or fill. I will go with the original option. Then you can set the width. Just simply slide this button over or under to select the width, and you can do the same with the height. You can also set the border radius of your image from here. Now let's go with the hover options. Next option is the animation type. So animation is, do you see the movement in the image as I hover the cursor? The slight movement. So this is the animation type, and you can select the animation type from here. You can select any animation of your choice. You can also select the animation duration in seconds from here. Just select your animation type from here and you can hover your cursor. Then depending upon the time that you want to set, you can set the animation duration from here. Next is the title. Again, we have the normal options and we have the hover options. So under normal, you can select the typography. Just select any font family of your choice. You can increase or decrease the size. Then you have other options that you can explore from. You can set the changes back to default by clicking on Set Back to Default button. You can set a different color for your title from here. So if I choose to go with the blue option, I can select blue color for the title. You can also set the margin from here. Just add a value and margin will be added. I'm just going to remove it for now. Now let's go over to hover options. The options are same for normal and hover. So for the normal option, blue color has been selected for title. If you wish to select a different hover color, like let's say black for example, then as you hover your cursor for each of the trip title, the color will set to black. Now for the content, again the options are same. You can set the typography from here. You can select the size from here, you can select the font family, and you can play around with the rest of the options and select them as per your preference. You can set a different color. I'm going to set it back to black. Then you can also add the padding. Then for meta options, these are the meta options. Again, you have the normal and the hover options. You can set the typography, you can select font family, line height, letter spacing, word spacing, then you also have other options to select from. And to set the changes back to default, you can click on the reset button. Then you can change the color. You can select any color of your choice. You can also set a different icon color. So the icon color does not have to be the color of the text. Just click here if you want the icon color to be, let's say blue, for example. You can set them as blue. Now for the hover color, you can select a different hover color, let's say black, and the colors will be set to black. Then you can do the same for the icon color as well. You can also set the space between them. Just slide this button over or under. I will set the colors back to default, just the way they were before, for both hover and normal options, but you can go with your choice. And under price, you have the normal options, which is for the normal price here, and the strikeout options, which is for the strikeout price here. So let's start with the strikeout price this time. You can select the typography from here. Again, the options are the same as I explored before. The color. Let's say you want to add in red or this orange color. Then you can set it like that. Then for the normal price, you can do the same. Just select a different price. You can select the same orange color, or you can always stick with the black color. That was also the default color. Next is the feature tag. This option works for those trips with the feature tag. So from here, you can select the text color of the feature tag. So for now, I think it is black. You can select red instead. Then the background color, you can select it any color of your choice. You can set it as white or maybe blue or any other color of your choice. And you will see the changes here immediately in real time. If you click on the clear button, it will set the color back to default, both for the background color and for the title color. Next is the discount tag. These are the discount tags. You can select the color from here. Just select any color of your choice and you will see the changes here. Similarly, you can select a background color of your choice from here. So whatever color you select will be displayed here for all of the trips. I'm going to reset colors once again. So for all of the changes I'm making so far, you must have noticed I am resetting the colors, but you can always go with your preference. All of these options you can play around with. You can select the best one for your site and you can stick with that. Next is the button option. So click here. These options are for the button. Again, you have the normal option and the hover option. You can set the background color. So instead of this blue color, maybe go with bright red or this orange color, dark orange color. Then you can also select the font color from here. You can select any color of your choice. Let's go with white. You can select the border type from the list of available options. You can also set the border radius. Then you can also select the box shadow, add padding and margin to all of the boxes. Now for the hover color, the options are the same. Again, if you select a different background color, like blue for example, as you hover over the buttons, the color will display as blue. Similarly, you can select a different font color. So if you select red, as you hover over the buttons, the color will display as red, which is the selected color over here. I'm going to set the colors back to how they were before, both for hover and normal options. So these are the options that you can explore from. And this is the grid layout. Now let's update the changes. And let's go to our site in the front end. And let's give it a refresh. And you will see the changes here. Let's go back to our dashboard once again. Now we will explore another layout, that is the list layout. So if you go over to our demo page, this is the grid layout, various layouts of the grid layout, and you will see the list layout. Let's see how we can achieve the list layout now. Let's go back to our dashboard once again, and we'll just click here. I will drag and drop the heading widget, and I will add my heading as list layout. And I will go to style and quickly change the color to black. Now to add the list layout, again click here. From the search widget, simply type trip. Here is the trips widget, drag it and drop it. Now the trips are being displayed. From the card view, click here and select list. This will display all of your trips in the list layout, just like how we saw in the demo page. Now even when you select the list layout, you have more options under query and additional options. Then you have style options. All of these options are the same. Like for example, from content, you can select a different typography, you can select a different color, and the color will change immediately, just like how we did for the grid layout. Let's set it back to default. You can make the changes, and if you find any difficulties while exploring through these options, you can let me know in the comment section below, or you can directly reach out to our support team. I have added the link to our support ticket in the description box below. Okay, so the only change I want to make to this is from the content, let's go to additional option. I want to increase the number of words in description. Let's directly set it to 50. And 50 words will be displayed as description for each of the trips. Then I also want to display the trip activities, the trip type, the trip available times, and let's see how the view details buttons look. I think this looks good. So these are the changes I'm making. As I mentioned before, the options are the same as we had for the grid layout. You can explore through them. If you face any difficulties, please do let me know, or you can reach out to our support team. So this is the list layout. Now just click on update. Let's go to our site in the new tab and we will give it a refresh. And here is the list layout that we just added. This is very easy to configure, very easy to achieve. Now let's go to our demo page once again. Let's go to the top and let's see another demo. Let's go to trip slider widget. So here are various layouts that you can achieve with the trip slider layout option. So let's see how we can achieve them. Let's go back to our dashboard, scroll down, click here. Again, I will drag and drop the heading, and I will add the heading as trip slider. I will change the color to black. Again, I will click here. Now from the search widget, type trips, drag and drop it. Okay, so the trips are now being displayed. From the card view, just select slider, and the trips will now be displayed as slider. Now from the widgets layout, you can select from layout 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So this is the layout number 1. You can go with layout number 2, layout number 3, layout number 4, or the layout number 5. Just select any layout of your choice. I will go with layout number 1. Then you have more options. Under query, you can show the trips based on featured, latest, on sale, or choose from the list. These options are similar to the grid and the list layouts. Under additional, you have the same options. Then under slider, These are the new options that you get with the trip slider layout. Let's go through them one by one. First, you can select the slides number. Right now, 3 is selected in default. You can select 4. And 4 sliders will be displayed. Let's go with 3. You can select space between slides from here, just increase or decrease the number. You can enable or disable the autoplay. Right now you can see that it is displaying from one slide to another. So if you disable the toggle, that option will be disabled. You can enable it back on by enabling the option. You can also set the autoplay speed. You can increase or decrease the speed from here. You can also allow these sliders to go on in a loop by enabling or disabling the option. Then you can also select the transition speed. You can also enable or disable the slider arrow. So these are the arrows. You can enable or disable them by enabling or disabling the toggle here. Then you can also enable or disable the slider pagination. So this right here is the slider pagination. You can enable or disable them by enabling or disabling the toggle here. Now let's go to style. The options under style are the same as the list and the grid layout. The different and extra option that you get is for the slider. So from here, you can set the arrow padding. You have the options for the previous and the next arrow. You can also set the arrow size. So right now, this is the arrow here. Let's try increasing the arrow size. So let's set the arrow size as 20. All you have to do is decrease or increase. Slide this toggle or button over or under. And this will increase the arrow size. You can also set the arrow offset by sliding this toggle over or under. Next, you can select the arrow background color. Now you have the normal and the hover option. Let's explore through the normal options first. First is arrow background color. So click here and let's select the color as blue. And you will see the arrow background color will change to blue. You can set the arrow color from here. Let's select white. And you will see the changes here accordingly. Now right now, this arrow does not look very appealing. Let's try making it circle. For that, let's change the few settings. So under arrow border radius, I will add it as 100. Then the arrow offset, I will set it as 60. You can also directly add the value from here. Then for the arrow padding, I will add 15. And now you will see we have a circle arrow or the arrows with the circle background. Now instead of making all of these settings, if you want to directly add in an icon, you can also do that. So from here, from the previous and the next arrow options, you can either upload your own SVG icons or you can click on the icon library here and you can select from the list of available icons. So let's select this one, click on Insert. And you will see the icon will change. Similarly for the next arrow, if you click on the icon library and let's select this icon to match the previous arrow icon and click on Insert. And you will see the next arrow icon has also changed. Similarly, you have more options like setting the arrow box shadow. All you have to do is click here. Now click on the colors and just select the color of your choice. Then you have more options at the bottom that you can explore from. And do you see the faint shadow applied to each of the arrows? So that is the effect that arrow box shadow has on the arrows. Next is the pagination active color. So pagination is over here. let's change the active color. From here, let's select red for a while to see the difference. And you will see the pagination active color is now red. Similarly, let's select the pagination color. Let's select light red color. And you will see the changes have been made accordingly. If you want to reset it, you can also reset it by clicking on the reset buttons here. You can also set the pagination spacing by adding values here. Then you can select the pagination alignment from left. You will see that the pagination is now aligned to left, center, or right. Let's go with center and we will click on update. So these are the options. If you are not clear with any of the explanations, please do let me know in the comment section below, or you can directly reach out to our support team. So the rest of the options, as I mentioned before, are similar to the grids and the list layout. Now let's go to our site in the front end and we will give it a refresh. And here is the trip slider. So these were the trip slider, list and grid layouts. Now let's go to our demo page once again. And from here, let's go to destinations widget. And here you will see 3 different layouts that we can achieve. Now I will show you how you can step by step achieve each of these layouts. So let's go back to our dashboard. Let's go back and we will create a new page. So go to pages and click on add new. And let's give the title as destination. Now again click on edit with Elementor. To add the destination widget, you can either search for the destination widget from the search bar by typing destination, and here the widget will appear, or you can scroll down and you can drag and drop the destination widget right from under WP Travel Engine. So let's drag and drop the widget. And as soon as you drag and drop the widget, all of the destinations will be displayed here on the page. So from here, you can select the card layout. You can either go with layout number 1, layout number 2, or the layout number 3. Let's select layout number 1 for now. You can select trips per row from here. You can either decrease and display 2 trips per row, or you can select 3. Now you can increase or decrease the gap between the trips by sliding the toggle over or under. Under query, you can display the destinations based on default, or you can choose from the list. If you select choose from the list, you can choose destinations by clicking on this add icon. Then you can select the destinations as per your choice. And whatever destinations you select from here, they will keep on displaying over here. I'm going to select default. Now let's see what options we have under additional settings. So from here you can enable or disable the trip counts. These are the trip counts. You can disable or you can enable them. Then you can also change the trips count label. By default, it is trips. You can remove it from here, then add in the trips count label of your choice. You can enable or disable to show the destination name. By disabling or enabling the toggle, then you can enable to show the view more button. So as you hover your cursor over the trips, it displays view more button. If you want to hide it, you can disable the toggle here, which will not display the view more button anymore on any of your trips. But if you choose to enable it back on, it will display here, and if you wish to change the view more label, then you can do that from here. Remove the label that is already here, then add in the label of your choice. Next is style. Under style, first is the general options. You can select the typography from here. Just click here on the pencil icon. Now you can select the font family, you can select any style of your choice. You also have more options that you can explore from. Then you can set the line height, letter spacing, and word spacing from here. If you wish to change the settings back to default, you can click on the reset button. You can set the alignment from left, center, or right. Let's go with left. You can also add the padding and margin. Now here, you also get the normal and hover option. You can select the background color, box shadow, border type, and also add the border radius for normal setting. So click here and you can select the color of your choice. Select the color from the palette and you can move around the slider to select the color. Similarly, you can add the box shadow by clicking here. Just like how I showed you before, you can select the color from here. Then you have other options that you can select from, which will apply the box shadow to each of the trips. I will set it back to default. You can also set the border type. And you can also add the border radius. Setting the border radius helps you to achieve a slightly rounded border. You can also select the color from here. I will set all of them back to default and I will also remove the border radius. Now for the hover option, we have the same options. The only difference is that as you hover your cursor over the trips, these settings will apply as the hover effect. So from here, if you select the background color, okay, let's select blue like we selected before. And as you hover over the trips, that is only when the background color will display. Let's set it back to default. Then you can also choose the overlay color. This is the overlay color. So from here, let's set it to the slight pink color, or let's set it a bit darker. And the overlay color will also change. I will set it back to default. You can select any color of your choice from the available options. You can also add in the hex value over here. Just like with the normal option, you also have the border type, border radius, and the box shadow options. Next is title. You can set a different typography, and you have options for the normal and hover settings. You can select the color, add padding and margin. For count, again, you can select a different typography. Do you see the change here? You can select a different color. Like for example, you can set this ink blue color for the count. Similarly, you can select the background color. This will help you highlight the number of trips for each of the destinations. I will not add the background color though. You can set the border type. You can also add the border radius if you have added border type from here. You can also apply the padding. Now here you have the arrow options. First, you can enable or disable the arrow. Then you can also choose the arrow color. Then the color that you select will be displayed here. You can select any other color of your choice. I will set it back to default, which is the black color. You can also increase or decrease the arrow size. You can also custom upload the arrow icon. You can either upload the SVG icon of your choice or you can click on the icon library. For example, if you choose to go with the second option and click on insert, then you will see the icon that you added from the icon library will be displayed here. I'm going to remove it and I'm going to allow the default arrow to be here. Then from image, you have various image settings. You have the normal settings and the hover settings. So from here, you can select the image size. You can set the object fit. You can explore various options and you can select the one that best suits your need and preference. You can set the width and the height. You can also add the border radius to the images. From under hover, you can select the animation type. The default animation type is linear. You can select any other animation type, and whatever animation type you select will be applied to the trips or the trip images here. You can also select the animation duration in seconds. From here, you can either increase it or you can decrease it. Now, let's explore the options for button. So this is the button here. You can select a different typography for the button. You can increase the font size, or you can decrease them as well. Then you have more options that you can explore from, along with setting line height, letter spacing, and word spacing. To set everything back to default, the changes you have made, you have to click on the back to default button, which will change everything back to default. Next, you can also apply padding. Now again, you have the normal and the hover options. Under normal options, you can select the background color. So the background color right now is blue. Let's select red, and you will see the color has now changed to red. You can also select the text color from here. So if I select this light gray color, it will change to light gray color. You can also select the border type. I have selected dotted border and it is displaying the same here. You can also set the width of the border. You can set the color of the border as well as add in the border radius. I'm going to change it back to default by clicking on the clear button here. You can also apply box shadow. You have to click here, select the color just like we did before. Then you can customize the box shadow with the help of the rest of the options. I'm going to set it back to default. Now under hover option, these settings apply to the hover effect. So you have to click here and select the background color, which will change the background color from white to gray. Then you can also select the text color. You can add in the border type, apply border radius, as well as add in the box shadow. I will also change the background color back to default. We are done exploring all of the style options as well as the content options. Now, just to show you the differences, I will also add layout number 2 and 3 to the same page. So I'll click here once again, and I will drag and drop the destinations widget once again. This time I will select layout number 2. Now the settings are the same for when you have applied layout number 2 to your destinations widget. You can select trips per row, set the trips cap. Let's decrease the trips cap. I think this looks better. You have the same options under query, under additional, then under style, you have the same options. If you come across any of the settings that are new or that you do not understand, please do let me know in the comment section below, or you can directly reach out to our support team. Similarly, I will also add layout number 3. So again, drag and drop the widget. And from here, let's select layout number 3. All of the settings are the same for when you have selected layout number 3 from choose card layout option. Now let's publish the changes. And here are the destination widgets that we added. Here are various layouts. Here's the layout number 1, layout number 2, and layout number 3. Now, let's go to our demo page once again. And now, let's explore the activities widget. This is the layout number 1, layout number 2, and layout number 3. The layouts that you can achieve for activities widget are similar to destinations widget. So let's go back and back and back. Let's go to pages, click on add new, add the title as activities. Click on edit with Elementor. First, I will add the heading and I will add it as layout 1. From style, let's select the color as black. Now click here once again. From the search bar, type activities. And here is the widget, drag and drop it. And here is the layout number 1 for your activities widget. To achieve layout number 2 and 3, you have to click here, select layout number 2 and layout number 3. And now the options available for each of the layouts are the same. You will also find that the settings for the activities widget is similar to destination widget. You can select activities based on default or you can select from the list. You can select the number of items to be displayed here. Under additional, you can hide or show the trip counts. Change the trip counts label as well as hide or display the name. Then under style, you have the general, title, count, arrow, image and button settings. All of these are similar to the destination widget. You will be able to easily explore through them and make the changes to your activities widget. If you come across any difficulties, please do let me know in the comment section below or you can directly reach out to our support team. Now let's go to our demo page once again. From here, let's select trip types widget. Under trip types layout, you will find layout number 1, 2 and 3. Again, these layouts, all 3 layouts are same as the destination and activities widget. So let's go to our dashboard to add them. Let me change the title as activities. Scroll down and here I will click over here, drag and drop heading. And here I will add the text as trip types. Then I will select style and I will quickly change the color to black. Now again, click here. To add the trip type, you can either search for the widget from the search bar or you can always scroll down. Drag and drop the trip types widget from here. It's very easy and simple. And you will see all of the trip types are now displaying on the page. To select the card layout, you can select from here. You can go with layout number 2 or layout number 3. Let's select layout number 2. Again, you can make the necessary changes with the help of the rest of the settings from here. You can select trips per row, increase or decrease the trips gap. From under query, you can show trips based on default or you can choose from the list. Simply click on the plus icon. Then you can add in the trip type as per your choice. Or you can always go with the default. Under additional settings, you can hide or show the trip count. You can change the label from here. You can show or hide the name from here. Then from under style, you have a bunch of styling options to select from, and these styling options are for both normal and hover effects. You have general, you have title, you have the count settings, you have settings for arrow, image, as well as button. All of these settings are same as the activities and destination widget. So you will be able to easily explore through them. If you find any difficulties, please do let me know. Or you can directly reach out to our support team. Let's publish the changes. And let's preview the changes in the new tab. And you will see the activities and trip types are now being displayed on the page in the front end. Let's go to our demo page once again. And now, finally, let's explore the trip search widget. Click on it. Here are the layouts that you can achieve with Trip Search widget. Here is the banner example. Here is the layout number 2 and layout number 1. I will show you how you can achieve this. Let's go back to our dashboard once again. Let's go back. Let's go to Pages and click on All Pages. To explore the Trip Search layout, let's go over to our front page, the home page, and click on Edit. Click on Edit with Elementor. So for the banner, I have already added the Trip Search widget. I will show you how you can add the Trip Search widget on your banner in a while. For now, I will show you how you can simply add the Trip Search widget. So scroll all the way down. And here is the Trip Search widget. You have to drag and drop it. And that's it. The Trip Search widget now displays on your page. This is the layout number 1, which is the horizontal or the default layout. If you want to achieve the vertical layout, which is also the layout here, you can select vertical. And here is the vertical layout. Now under additional, you have additional settings. Like you can change the search button label. Instead of search, let's say add results, then it will change to results. Then you have the options to show or hide the destination, activity, duration, and price. You also have the option to enable and disable to show the trip types. Let's enable all of them back on by enabling the toggles. You can change the filter label. So instead of destination, if you want to add in something else, you can remove the label that is already here. Then you can add in the label of your choice. You can also select the display order from here. You can increase or decrease the display order as per your choice. The same settings is also available for activity, duration, and price. Now under style, you can change the primary color. So click here. You can change the color to something else. You can also set the background color. You can change the typography. You can select a different font family from here. You can select from any of the font family that are available here. You can also increase or decrease the font size by sliding the toggle over or under. Then there are other options that you can easily explore from. To set the changes back to default, you can always click on Back to Default button. You can also add padding, add box shadow. So click here, select the color. After selecting the color, you have more options here that you can set from. And you will see the box shadow has now been applied. Next, you can also select the border type. You can also add the border radius if you have set the border type. From input, you can make settings for the input value. So from here, you can set the color. If I select red, you will see all of the colors will change to red. Then you can also select the background color. You can also change the icon color. And the color that you select from here will be displayed here accordingly. Then from arrow color, you can select the color for your arrow. So if you want to go for red color, just like you've gone for your icon color, you will see the color has now changed. To set the colors back to default, you can click on the clear button here. You can set the border type from here, and you have the option for normal settings and first child settings. You can explore through the options. Next is button settings. So here you can set the typography for your button. You can select from the list of available family fonts. Then you can also increase or decrease the font size, and you have other options. You can set the padding for your button. You have the normal and the hover option. So you can change the background color. Let me change the typography. I will set the settings back to default. You can set the background color as red. Then for the hover settings, you can have a different color, like orange for example. And as you hover your cursor over the button, the hover color will be different. Similarly, you can select the font color for both normal and hover settings. You can then set the border type. You can select solid, double, dotted, or other options that are available here. And when you select border type, you can also set the width, you can select the color, as well as set the border radius for your border type. I will go with none. Then you can also add the box shadow from here. Select the color. Then you can make use of the rest of the settings to customize the box shadow. I will set it back to default. So these are the settings for the trip search widget. Now I will show you how you can add the trip search widget to your banner. So let me remove this widget that I created here. If you have any confusions, please do let me know in the comment section below. Now for a while, I will remove this widget. So just go to Navigator and I will delete the widget. So the process is very simple. From the widget, look out for trip search widget. You have to drag it and you have to drop it. So the horizontal or the default layout is being displayed. From here, select vertical. And that is it. You can easily have the trip search widget on your banner. Your visitors will be able to search for the trip of their choice in no time with the help of the trip search widget on your banner. You can further customize it with the help of the styling options and additional options that you have here. Click on Update and let's view it in the new tab in the front end. So this is what it looks like. So that was it about WP Travel Engine Elementor Widgets. If you have any questions, queries, confusions, you can always drop them down in the comment section below, or you can always reach out to our support team. If you are liking our videos so far, please give us a like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please help us grow. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in our next video.